Good afternoon, I'm Sue Serio. Precipitation from our coastal storm is starting to move into the area. We're going to show you the big picture, and you see that there is snow in practically the entire state of Pennsylvania, all the way down through West Virginia. But the rain from this storm, energy from the storm, extends all the way down to Jacksonville, Florida, which is why we don't expect to get rid of it until tomorrow morning. So we're seeing the beginnings of the snow and the rain. You see the pretty clear line of demarcation between rain and snow. We have some heavy rain in the Dover, Delaware area right now, more that is headed that way, and some snowflakes already starting to fall in the Philadelphia area as well. So you can see them on our live camera at our station at 4th and Market. It is 33 degrees with 16-mile-an-hour winds out of the northeast, and temperatures are pretty cold, except for the places where we expect rain, like the Jersey Shore, but it's only 19 degrees in Mount Pocono and 27 degrees in Pottstown, where there's lots of snow in the forecast. We have 16-mile-an-hour winds in Philadelphia, 15 miles an hour in Atlantic City, gusts that are even higher, and those winds will be picking up. In fact, here are all the hazards we're dealing with this storm. We have heavy snow, sleet, high winds, heavy rain if you're south and east of Philadelphia, and all that adds up to dangerous driving today. So with this major winter storm in the forecast, you have to be careful if you have to travel, and it will be at its worst in the overnight hours. I would say anytime after sunset is when it's going to start to be really dangerous to travel around. So get what you have to get done now, and then hopefully you can stay home for all this, because look at the snowfall amounts that we have for you. More than 15 inches up in the mountains, double-digit snow accumulations to the north and west of Philadelphia. Then we mix in a little bit of sleet at times, so that'll keep some of the snowfall totals down, but everybody is going to have a big mess, and we will be with you through it all. Live updates throughout the rest of the day, and make sure you check our Weather Authority app. Make sure you have it installed on your phone. I'm Sue Serio. Back to 25 words or less.
Good afternoon. I'm FOX29 meteorologist Kathy Orr with an update on our snow. Ultimate Doppler showing the snow, the sleet, and the rain moving in right on schedule. You can see the snow falling through Philadelphia, our northern western suburbs, also on the Jersey side in Newcastle County, Delaware. That rain-snow line lining up right through parts of Chester County, and I should also say on the Jersey side, lining up through Cumberland County, extending through Gloucester County into Camden County, and also Burlington County, New Jersey. So Evesham in the snow, Waterford, New Jersey, not in the snow and the rain, Gloucester in the snow, Glassboro in the snow, and Williamstown right on that icy line between some sleet and some rain. So what you see right now is what you're going to get for the next several hours. Where it's raining in South Jersey, it will stay rain. Where it's snowing to the north near 295 and the Turnpike, it will continue to snow. Some heavy rain right now in areas near Upper Deerfield, also Alloway Creek, but to the north in Salem and also Halltown and Piles Grove, it's snow, and you should stay in the snow for at least the next 2 to 3, maybe even 4 hours. Winter storm warnings from Philadelphia, Delaware County to the north and to the west. To the south and east, advisory in effect for lesser accumulations with mixing with rain and also sleet. That wind advisory will continue this afternoon into tomorrow morning for gusts to 60 miles an hour, especially in that warning area in Cape May County. The storm timing between now and 8 p.m., snow through the Philadelphia area, on the Jersey side as well, close by in our northern western suburbs, rain through South Jersey and central and southern Delaware, and then that rain-snow line will begin to lift a little bit farther to the north. Philadelphia even seeing some mixing during the evening period. 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock tomorrow morning, the heaviest precipitation, 1 to 2 inches of snow an hour to the north and west of the city, and then between 7 a.m. and tomorrow morning at about 10 a.m. everything should come to an end. Still looking at the heaviest amounts of snow in the Poconos, 15 to as much as 20 inches of snow there, 10 to 15 our upper parts of Bucks, Montgomery, Chester into the Lehigh Valley and Berks County, 6 to 10 our northern western suburbs in Philadelphia, adjacent suburbs on the Jersey side, even northern Newcastle County, 3 to 6, and as you go into interior South Jersey, where we're seeing the mixing right now, about 1 to 3 inches of snow expected, where we're seeing the rain through Millville, down the shore, through Atlantic County, even through Dover and southward. It will stay all rain and possibly end as a little bit of snow early tomorrow morning. That's the very latest from the Weather Center. Now we'll go to Dr. Oz next update next hour. We'll see you then. And good afternoon. I'm Fox 29 meteorologist Kathy Orr. Our storm is here on Ultimate Doppler. You can see obviously where the snow is falling, that rain snow line in South Jersey, where we have a little bit of sleet dividing the snow through Gloucester, Glassboro, and also Waterford from the rain along the expressway in Winslow, also down near Weymouth and also in Mullica. So we're going to continue to see the rain falling heavy at times with little snow mixing in here and there in South Jersey. Right now, Bridgeton reporting in rain. Millville rain. Had a report in Vineland of seeing some snow. Let me know if that's changed back over to rain. Salem in the snow. Wilmington as well. The heavy snow will continue north and west of Philadelphia during the late night hours. That's where a warning is. Advisory through interior South Jersey and Newcastle County, Delaware. The snowfall forecast has stayed the same. The highest amounts in the Poconos, 15 plus, possibly as high as 19 or 20 inches there. 10 to 15 in our northern western suburbs in Lehigh Valley. 6 to 10 inches to the north and west of Philadelphia. And in Philadelphia, looking at that 3 to 6 inch range as you get into the northern edge of Philadelphia and up in the suburbs, 6 to as much as 10 as you get toward Hatfield, Quakertown, and even parts of Pottstown. Warrington, you'll be in that 6 to 10. 3 to 6 inches in Ridley, Philadelphia, Delran, Moorestown on the Jersey side, Cherry Hill and Haddonfield, Pine Valley, Glassboro, even Piles Grove, between 1 to 3 inches before we see that changing over to sleet and eventually rain. More updates next hour and complete coverage beginning at 5. We'll see you then. Now let's go back to TMZ.
Well, we said the snow was coming, and here it is with a live look in Allentown, Lehigh County, just one part of our area that could see accumulation in the double digits by the time this is over. On radar, you can see the storm is covering pretty much our entire area, and it's got a little bit of everything: snow, ice, and some rain. We all need to stay alert tonight because as the night goes on, the snow is only going to get heavier and it'll start to mix with that ice in some places. PennDOT and the PA Turnpike are already phasing in vehicle restrictions and lowering speed limits around the state. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you're cozy at home, staying safe out there. I'm Shayna Humphreys.
I'm Jason Martinez. We're live in Havertown, Dalco, right in front of my house here, where this snow is not letting up. It's been coming down consistently without fail since about 1 o'clock. And just by looking around, just guessing here, looking at this stuff, I'm thinking we're seeing about 4 to 6 inches at this point. And Kathy is going to join us here to tell us what we've seen so far in terms of accumulation and what's happening next with this storm.
Oh boy, Jason, you are right in the thick of things. You live in a great little spot there. We'll tell you all about it. Take a look outside. This is Center City, Philadelphia. It is a winter wonderland, and you can see the cars moving very slowly. Those snowflakes are huge. They're almost like take a cotton ball and rip it apart. I was just looking outside at those big plumpy flakes because we are beginning to see a little bit of sleet mixing in with that snow. We're watching our storm, our area of low pressure, moving a little bit farther inland west as we thought it would, and that's going to draw in some warm air before the storm exits come tomorrow morning. So Ultimate Doppler showing a bit of a dry slot, the end of the precipitation to the west here through Virginia, but all this has to push through, and there's a warm surge. We're beginning to see that sleet mixing in. In Williamstown, we're seeing it. In South Jersey, even in Delaware, in northern parts of Delaware, through Bear, Delaware, where you see the pink, even into Wilmington. So we're seeing that mix moving in, and that's going to shut down those snow accumulations. So if you've already seen 2, 3, 4 inches in South Jersey, that's mainly it. Once the sleet moves in, you're going to be shut down until the storm pulls away overnight. Wilmington, beginning to see that mix. You'll be ending your snow accumulation, and that mix will be possibly making it into southern Delaware County. Visibility reduced down to 1/3 of a mile in Philadelphia, seeing that heavier snow. Pottstown a half mile, Reading, Lancaster half a mile, Trenton half mile. You can see where we have the rain, the heavy rain in Millville, and also through Dover. That's where the visibility is improved. Snow so far, these just in. Nottingham Manor, Delaware, 4.5 inches. Newark, Delaware, 3 inches. Chester, PA at 3. Parkside, PA, 2.5. Washington Township, 2.4. Medford, 2 inches of snow. Once again, in South Jersey, once you see that sleet, then you possibly will be transitioning over to rain, but the sleet is going to keep your totals down, and then you'll just generally be seeing sleet or rain during the overnight period. So the 1 to 3, a little bit far south through interior South Jersey, 3 to 6 inches still for that I-95 corridor, but those higher amounts, 6 to 10. possibly into northeast Philadelphia as you head northward, and then 10 to 15 through the Lehigh Valley, Upper Bucks, Montgomery, Chester, 15 plus in the Poconos, where that cold air is going to continue to be locked in. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Kathy. And we're out here live in Delaware, Havertown and Delaware County. And, I was just looking at the map. We are probably in the 6 to 10 category now. And as we toss to Chris here in Allentown, you're in an area that is seeing even more snow out there, Chris.
Yeah, the heavy bands of snow continue tonight here, Jace, as they have in the last couple hours. We're along Airport Road on State Route 22 in Allentown, right near the Lehigh Valley Airport. And just take a look at the road conditions here. You see this truck here, I would say a couple inches already. It's been very, very slow going out here on area roadways. Whatever was pre-treated now is pretty much snow covered here at this point. PennDOT has now put speed restrictions on major highways, the Turnpike and Northeast Extension among them, I-95 as well. Spoke with several drivers out here who say that the roads are just getting bad, but we see lots of plows out here. Several fender benders reported. PennDOT reminding all of us, really, who really haven't driven in these conditions, to stay safe and stay at home as much as possible. Because as these continue through the night, especially up here in the Lehigh Valley, things will get a little hairy. Now, let's bring you back here. It wouldn't be a TV snow live shot without some sort of prop. So I got my measuring stick here. I would say I measured. We're just about 2 inches here. Not scientific. I'm not a trained meteorologist like Kathy Orr, but we got about 2 inches here on the Lehigh Valley. You can certainly tell here on the roadways. One last thing. People ask us all the time, how do you guys stay safe? Well, guys, we're keeping our truck here through the remainder of the storm. We have a hotel room in this parking lot, and look what we got behind us. It's not a storm unless there's an open Waffle House nearby, so we are in safe hands. We'll keep you updated through the night back here at the Lehigh Valley as these snow bands continue to fall, guys.
All right, good thing to see. You guys are in good hands out there. Waffle House is ready for you. We'll check back in with you a little bit later. Stay safe out there, Chris. SEPTA is making some changes because of all this snow. The Market Frankfurt and the Broad Street lines will still be running overnight instead of owl buses. The city trolley tunnel will also stay open overnight, but the Norristown high-speed line will be suspended for late night and overnight rides. There is no change to the regional rail schedules.
And let's continue our team coverage here as we track this storm. We've got Jeff Cole live tonight in Swarthmore, Delco. Jeff.
Yeah, Jason, it's a significant storm. I mean, grew up in New England, I've seen lots of storms, but we haven't had anything really this significant in some time here in the mid-Atlantic states. This is coming down pretty well. I bet we've got about 3 inches on the ground here. It is cold. It is certainly windy, and now it looks to me, or it certainly feels, based on what's hitting my face, is that it's largely sleet. Delaware County, the county seat media, they closed the county buildings and the courthouses here at 2. State police hit the road, and we were on the road during the day today to check out how things were going here in the county.
Swarthmore Hardware in the Delaware County college town has served the community for decades.
Everybody here in town shops here just about, and a lot of them even have accounts here and everything. They come in and out. We're on a first name basis, so it's good.
And when the snow flies, so do the shovels and supplies right off the shelves or the displays out front. Ice melt is a hot commodity.
We had a bunch left from last year because we never got a significant snowstorm or anything, so I'm selling out of that now too.
When the first flakes appeared in the early afternoon, county officials began to think about the rush hour ahead. Commuters and snowfall are the perfect storm.
Snow falling at rush hour is the worst time we can expect it. This is the time people will get on the road, they'll forget what it's like to drive in snow, and we'll have a significant amount of traffic accidents.
Delco closed its courthouse and government center at 2 p.m. Even in the snow, the pandemic is a concern as officials weighed how to handle outdoor COVID testing.
The safety of our people performing the test is impacted, but we recognize that if we delay testing, people will delay getting results.
State police say they have stepped up patrols and urge motorists to clear their vehicles of snow. They advise if you must drive, do it with caution and without speed.
Please asking you to stay home, drive slow and safe if you need to. If you become stranded on the side of the roadway, we are asking that you please make sure that you stay with your vehicle until help arrives.
Certainly good advice from the state police spokesperson. We are getting hammered with some really stiff sleet hitting us hard right in the face here live in Swarthmore, Delaware County. Folks, back to you.
All right, be careful, stay safe out there. Thank you, Jeff. So the snow still coming down hard across our region. We've got plenty more coverage. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. A live look outside at the boardwalk in Ocean City. We're looking down the shore, and it's a very different situation from what we're seeing closer to Philadelphia with all of the snow, but it's raining there. This is a part of this same massive storm system. The New Jersey DOT has travel restrictions in place now along most major highways, and they're advising people to just stay home unless you have to go out. The restrictions do not apply to the Turnpike, the Garden State Parkway, or Atlantic City Expressway. Moving to Bucks County, where the snow is really sticking to the ground in Falls Township. We're hearing from some people out there. They are saying the roads are getting very slick, so take it slow, leave lots of extra space between the other cars, and just be careful out there. Okay, let's get back over to Kathy. And Kathy, we know this isn't going to end for a while, but what are we facing going into the evening?
Well, into the evening, we're talking about a big transition, Shayna, especially along the I-95 corridor, South Jersey, I-95 corridor, even into southern Delaware County and Chester counties. We're going to see this warm surge in the mid levels of the atmosphere. So even though the surface is cold, the snowflake will fall high in the atmosphere. Then there's a melting layer, and that's why we'll be seeing some icing going on before the snowflake refreezes as it heads toward the ground. So we're seeing that sleet or those ice pellets mixing in Wilmington, and that's moving up the I-95 corridor. So Jason, even in Delaware County, may see a little sleet mixing in there a little bit later on this evening as we see this warm wedge moving up through South Jersey and Delaware. Look at these surface temperatures, 30 in Philadelphia. That's why we're seeing those plump flakes out there that Marcus just showed us. Wilmington, the same thing, 32, but a lot of rain through South Jersey and locking in the cold in Pottstown and Allentown, and that's where we'll see the heaviest snow. This is what we'll get between now and 9 p.m. Our northern western suburbs, Lehigh Valley, snow heavy at times. Philadelphia and adjacent suburbs in New Jersey and Delaware, meaning Newcastle County, snow to a mix to a little bit of rain, and then back to snow, though, when the storm ends. But this is just between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. Central Delaware and South Jersey, rain and gusty winds as we go through the evening hours. We'll send it back to you.
And Kathy, we're out here in Delco. We are seeing some big flakes. We're seeing a little bit of a mix, so we'll have to continue to track that for you. And Kelly Rule's not far from where I am in Ardmore, and you're looking into outdoor dining, and it's really tough to eat outdoors right about now, Kelly.
Yeah, Jason, I mean, just take a look at this. If you see the fresh snow here on the ground, we are dealing with at least a couple of inches. Lower Merion Township actually just declared a snow emergency as of 5 o'clock, and you can see why. Lancaster Avenue with a pretty thick coating there on the roads. The roads are pretty quiet right now, and they're urging people to stay home. But like you said, for businesses, it's just a gamble today.
My dad's been here 39 years. It's never stopped him.
If they can stay open during a pandemic, Vinny Salufo says they will stay open for delivery and takeout during snow at Bella Italia Pizza in Ardmore. But on a day where people usually crave hot slices hunkered down at home, Vinny says it's also 2020.
Historically, snow days have been good, but with everything else going on, we'll see. One day at a time, like everything else.
As Lower Merion Township crews prepared for the flakes to fall, not all restaurants felt it was worth it to stay open as the snow started to pick up. And those with a new early afternoon closing time because of COVID-19 say the snow's timing worked out in their favor. Jonathan Velasquez says pre-pandemic, Coffee Bar would thrive in this type of weather.
Not the usual business, but, we had to do what is best for the moment.
But it didn't stop two brave souls from squeezing in an outdoor meal.
Still outdoor dining, we're on a break from virtual learning, so we figured we'd come down and grab lunch.
I'm happy, really happy, because I really like snow.
And I heard Chris O'Connell talking about being taken care of. Well, look at Michael. We just met him 5 minutes ago, and he's clearing off photojournalist Brian Zeli's car right now. He is a saint. Not only that, Chris mentioned he had a Waffle House. We have a Wawa. So I'd say, Shayna, we're in good hands out here.
What a guy, Michael. And I'm glad you're in good hands as well. Always could use a Wawa stop. All right, stay warm out there, Kelly. Let's take a live look outside in Westchester. You know, from this faraway view, it's really just lovely. Not too many people out there. Those who are taking it very slow, that is a good idea. Those roads are slippery. We've got plenty more storm coverage coming up. Let's take you out to Lehigh County now for this time-lapse video of Allentown. Just watch the snowstorm move in. Slowly at first, and you can see the traffic is moving as normal, but it starts to slow down as the snow starts to sneak in. This was a little bit earlier this afternoon. Jason?
And we're seeing some sideways rain, snow, sleet mix out here in Delco. But Hank Flynn was born for weather stories like this. He's in Bucks County, in Newtown.
That's it, Jason. What am I doing out here? Minute by minute, I look more and more like Jack Nicholson at the end of this Shining. But Newtown is on fire tonight. It is the essence of a Dickensian Christmas. It's beautiful out here as the snow continues to fall. It took us a while to get up here. The road's getting worse and worse as we went. Plows coming by naturally, a lot of other things. But what's interesting about the Newtown streets right now is the emptiness. Most of the stores, I talked with one shopkeeper who said he closed all 4 of his stores. Why keep them open? He said, it's safer to send my employees home. Plus, where are the customers? There's no one out here buying. A couple of stalwarts. I got my coffee at the Zebra Striped Whale over here. Thank goodness they were open, but they're only staying open till 6, so they're shutting down now. I spoke with one Newtown borough policeman who says the streets have been fairly safe in the borough. A couple of fender benders outside. The Newtown fire chief tells me the streets are just making it harder to get to calls. But at the end of the day, guys, this is one day to be hunkering in the bunker, get inside and stay inside. We'll check in at 6 o'clock, but then I'm going home, brother. Jason?
It's Shayna, your sister.
Shayna.
But I think you deserve that, Hank. All right, stay safe out there. Let's take a live look out in Old City as the storm rages on. It looks pretty pleasant here at the moment, but you can see those streets are covered. Our coverage continues after the break.
Oh, we're getting a gust of wind out here in Delco, here in Havertown. You don't think my neighbors are enjoying this snowstorm? That's my neighbor Matt, right on my front lawn, enjoying it, doing snow angels. You gotta love Matt. He's from the Wisconsin area, so this is nothing to him, but we're having a good time out here. We do have some school information for archdiocesan high schools and parochial elementary schools in the city of Philadelphia to tell you about now to conduct all virtual learning. That's coming up tomorrow, so just a heads up there for Haverford District here in town. I just got an alert from my daughter's kindergarten. They're calling a full-on snow day. No virtual, just kids have fun. That's what the superintendent said. So a little breath of fresh air for this parent, at least. We'll have Kathy in 15 seconds.
Huge difference it was with Jason's background from about 15 minutes ago to when we just saw him. Before it was like a winter wonderland, and now the sleet mixing in with that snow, making visibility improved with that snow lessening and the sleet moving in. Once the sleet moves into your neighborhood, that's going to reduce our snow totals because obviously we'll have less accumulation, and you'll be seeing the sleet for most of the night. Not a lot of additional accumulation left once you see that changeover. Take a look at Philadelphia. We're seeing that mix moving in as well, and that will definitely shut down our snow totals as we see sleet for the rest of the night. Temperatures right now around 30 degrees in the city. The high for the day only 33. Look at visibility. You can see improved in Philadelphia to 1 mile. That's actually an improvement. Half-mile visibility with heavy snow in Pottstown and Allentown. Just 0.3 of a mile in Reading. Lancaster at a half-mile. Trenton. And look at Wrightstown, seeing visibility at about a half-mile. Temperatures to the north. Trenton 28, so we're seeing some snow accumulate there. Pottstown the same at 24, 22 in Allentown. Look at the Poconos. 15 degrees. You know how much packed powder you can make at 15 degrees? It's going to be a skiers and snowboarders delight come tomorrow, that's for sure. Onshore flow keeping temperatures mild in Atlantic City and Millville and Dover with heavy rain and gusty winds right now. So this is what we're expecting over the next couple of hours. This surge of warmth in the middle levels of the atmosphere bringing in that sleet. And once you see the sleet, that's going to continue into the late night hours as far north as our northern western suburbs. And then as the storm pulls away, snow comes back in, but there's not a lot of time and there's not a lot of moisture left for a lot of additional accumulation. So what you see right now before that transition to sleet around the I-95 corridor is basically the bulk of what you're going to get. Tomorrow morning, everything moves out. Susario will be on Good Day Philadelphia with our Scott Williams, and they'll be talking about the departing storm and blustery conditions tomorrow. Still expecting those higher accumulations in our northern western suburbs, 6 to 10 in our suburbs to the north and west of the city. As you go to Upper Bucks, Montgomery, Upper Chester, into the Lehigh Valley, 10 to 15 and 15 to possibly 20 inches in the Poconos in those higher elevations. So if you live in Cherry Hill, 3 to 6, Morristown, 3 to 6, you'll be transitioning to sleet very soon. I know you're already seeing some mixing. Wilmington mixing as well, 6 to 10 in Upper Dublin, Hatfield, Warrington, Northampton, even into West Goshen, the northern part of Delaware County. You could be in that 6 to 10 range as well, more like 7, 8, I think, tops. And then look at our future wind gusts. These winds gusting over 50 miles an hour by this evening in South Jersey. Those are strong tropical storm force gusts. And then our storm is well off the coast of New England, or off of Long Island rather, tomorrow morning. And we're still seeing these very gusty winds. Power outages a possibility with the heavy wet snow and the combination of gusty winds late tonight through tomorrow. So please be prepared for that. You know, those neighborhoods that usually see some problems in snowstorms. Overnight lows in the teens, the 20s and the 30s. Highs tomorrow are only going to be in the 30s. So the wind chill will definitely be a factor. Those wind chills only in the 20s and teens. On your 7-day forecast, blustery tomorrow. Then we'll see sunshine for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Into next week, it looks dry. And guys, lots of sun with temperatures back in the 40s. But this snow is going to stick around a while, Shayna. Look at those temperatures. Highs in the 30s next 3 days, lows in the 20s and the teens. Whew, yikes.
Like you said, good for skiing, snowboarding, maybe some sledding these next couple days. Thanks, Kathy. We're looking live at Reading, Berks County. It's snowing, and it's going to continue to. We're going to have the latest for you, and we're going to stick with you every step of the way. We will be right back. Let's head to Gloucester County now. It's beautiful. Those trees are just covered with snow in Williamstown. Over the past hour, though, the snow has turned into sleet in much of South Jersey.
And in Lancaster County, it's still coming down out there. Katie Byrne is continuing our storm coverage. How is it out there, Katie?
Hey, Jason and Shayna. Well, this is really the heaviest we've seen it all day. And as you can see, the wind is definitely picking up. It started snowing here a little earlier than Philly, around 11:30 in the morning here. And it's been consistent throughout the day. Forecasters say now is the time, though, to stay off the roads, because as the sun goes down, they're worried about the roads getting icy. And here they're expecting about 2 to 3 inches of snow per hour overnight. Of course, this is the most snow locals have seen in a while.
It has been a
like
while.
A couple years.
Yes. And I feel like we were talking about how the excitement last time was really high, but this time is even more because we're stuck at home doing Zoom meetings and we don't have a lot of options. So playing in the snow is super exciting.
It is super just energizing and like joy-giving right now.
Yeah, I heard a lot of that today from people here in Lancaster saying they were just excited to get outside, get out of the house, and take it all in. And you know what else is interesting is in Pennsylvania, 61 out of the 67 counties are under winter storm warnings. That's almost all of them. And now here in Lancaster, they're expecting the snow to taper off around sunrise. And then tomorrow, partly sunny, so it could be a good thing if you shovel today. Hopefully the snow will be on your side. Live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Katie Byrne, Fox 29 News.
Yeah, save yourself some time tomorrow. Thanks, Katie.
Brought to you by the Sioka dealerships, with 20 locations throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
The plows are out. They're hitting the roads in Bucks County. Those crews will be working very hard. They have a big job ahead of them tonight. We thank them for what they do. Moving to Montgomery County, and our crews are showing you the conditions outside in King of Prussia right now. The sun down at this point, and you can see how thick that snow cover is. Best to just take it very slow, and even better, if you don't have to go outside, just go ahead and stay in.
It's kind of what we're doing here in Delco. My daughter over here, Angelina, right behind me, enjoying the rain snow mix. Angelina, come here real quick. Come here. She's doing snow. The closest thing. I know the closest thing she knows to, snow is going on the Matterhorn at Disneyland, pretty much. Are you having fun, honey?
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite part about the snow?
Doing snowballs and making a snowman.
Making a snowman, doing snow angels. So she's having a great time. Say hi to Shayna.
Hi, Shayna.
She loves you, Shayna.
Hey, Angelina. She's a little snow angel.
All right, honey. Go have fun, honey. So this is how we do it in Delco, and right down the street from where I am, my neighbor Don Timoney's live in Wayne. Don.
Hey, yeah, Delco proud here, right, Jason? It started snowing in my neighborhood probably about 1 o'clock this afternoon. It was really coming down hard until just about a half an hour ago, and then it's turned to rain. But as you can see, the roads here are still pretty snow covered. You can see, I think we probably have a couple of inches of snow here. This is a side street in Wayne. We're on Bloomingdale Avenue. You can see people really taking it slow as they drive. And even Lancaster Avenue here, snow covered. The plows have been out in force, but before it turned to rain, it was hard to keep up with the conditions. And earlier, my photographer, Aaron Sachs, he put a GoPro on his news van and got some video of the Schuylkill. Let's take a look at that video. He said that the Schuylkill wasn't too bad, but we talked to other people who actually said it was pretty treacherous. The local roads have been bad. Driving has just been tough all around. I'm not the greatest driver in the snow. And I have to tell you, it was pretty slippery out here. We talked to some people, though, that were just welcoming the snow, just glad to see it.
I love it. I love it. I've been waiting for it for years.
I'm very excited for the snow. It's been too long, and I needed a change of pace from like the gray and the boring fall scenery. Now we have some good winter scenery.
Got a big bag of rock salt last season and didn't use it. So I've got rock salt. I've got shovel. I've got a 23-year-old son who's got a strong muscles, so we should be okay. We're ready. As long as the power stays, we're fine.
Yeah, fingers crossed all around that the power stays on. Again, it stopped snowing here in Wayne. It's kind of like a wet, freezing rain. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of hours. But again, the roads here are pretty slick. Jason and Shayna?
Yeah, we see everyone taking it really slow and careful behind you. Be careful out there. Thank you, Dawn. Live look over the Ben Franklin Parkway. Just a few people moving pretty slow close to the art museum out there. Beautiful sight, but as we've shown you, it can be dangerous as well. So be very careful out on those roads. It's been a while since we've seen this much snow and since anyone's had to drive in it. But Kathy, it's going to get somewhat worse before it gets better. We've not seen this much snow in December in a while.
We haven't. It's been 2.5 years, Shayna. I mean, we haven't seen this much the entire season last year. Last year in Philadelphia, we had 0.3 of an inch, so like 1/3 of an inch. So we've already surpassed the whole season last year just with this snowfall. Ultimate Doppler showing the warmer air working its way in through South Jersey, Delaware, into Delco. Jason had those giant flakes and then the transition to sleet. So if you're in Bucks County, Chester County, and you see those giant flakes, next comes the sleet, and that will limit the additional snow accumulation. But still, north and west of Philadelphia into our suburbs, that is where we do expect it to stay all snow, especially upper parts of Bucks, Montgomery, and Chester into the Lehigh Valley. So far the snow, Nottingham Manor, Delaware, over 4 inches, Newark, Delaware, 3, Chester, PA, 3, Parkside, PA, 2.5, Washington Township, New Jersey, you're finished, but you picked up over 2.4 inches, Medford, over 2 inches of snow as well. Top December snowfalls. You have to really get a major storm to be in the top 5. Look at this, December 19th, 2009, 22 inches. December 26th, 1909, 15. A foot of snow in 66. December 26th, 2010. A lot of people remember this. This was a huge storm for South Jersey. 11.6 inches in Philadelphia. December 12th, 1960, 10 inches. So to have a 6-inch snowfall be in the top, you have to go to number 17. So we'd be in the top 20, I think, with this storm, Shayna. But nothing like this. Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank goodness. All right, thanks, Kathy.
You know, we've been talking about the suburbs here most of this newscast. We cannot forget about Philly, and that's where Shawnette Wilson is live.
Yeah, Jason, I don't know about everyone else, but I am actually loving this. I've been waiting on snow. We are live in Rittenhouse right now where people are out. It's very busy. We've seen people in the park making snowmen, taking pictures with the snow, just a lot of energy. And also take a look at this behind me. Some faithful customers here are trying to give businesses a good night here. People are eating in those heated tents. Some people are actually eating at tables along the sidewalk, trying to make the best of this first snow of the year. So before we came here to Rittenhouse, though, we were driving around Center City, and again, very busy. People out on the roads, people out walking, and not everybody working. Some people were out just taking a stroll to get coffee. We saw people going into cell phone stores, handling some business, obviously, when they thought not a lot of people would be out there. But again, back to the restaurants. We also drove by the Cheesecake Factory in Center City, a line of cars outside. It's going to be a good night for people who work in food delivery. We talked to one young woman who works for DoorDash. She says that she expects to make $500 to $600 in just a few hours tonight.
When I say I've only been out here for an hour, it did not look like this an hour ago. It's coming down. I'm trying to make some money because it's hard out here finding jobs, and you know, this COVID has had everyone in shambles. I'm just here trying to do something productive and make some money to get through the holidays.
And she actually is a Christmas baby. Her birthday is December 25th, so early happy birthday to her. But again, just some businesses decided to close for the night, but there are plenty that are open and people still trying to hold on to outdoor dining, even in the midst of a pretty heavy snowfall. Back to you guys.
Making it work somehow, some way, even with everything going on. Okay, thanks, Shawnette. Let's check out what it looks like in Doylestown. It's pretty similar, just a little snow globe around our area. We've got plenty more storm coverage coming up on the 6th, and we will be right back.
And welcome back to Fox 29 News, and this is a video of the snow blanketing the ground in Reading, Berks County tonight, and that kind of does look like a perfect hill to go sledding. I got my daughter back here still bothering me to take her sledding. I'm like, Daddy's working right now. I'm having a good time, and a lot of people are, as we heard from Shawnette, and people saying, hey, I'm really enjoying this. It's okay to enjoy a snowstorm if you're home, you're in your warm living room, looking at the winter wonderland, and if you have to drive in it, that's a whole different story. But it has been a beautiful storm, Shayna.
Absolutely, and I think part of it, somebody mentioned, I believe, in Dawn Timoney's story, that it's just a nice change of pace. In this year, when we're all just binging everything on Netflix, and hoarding toilet paper.
They're home already.
A lot of things to do.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a nice change of pace.
We got more coverage coming up.
We do. Everyone stay safe out there. We'll get you the very latest starting in just a moment. The 6th starts now. No more waiting. The snow is here. Right now, we are in the thick of a major storm hammering the region. Some of us are getting snow, others a mix of ice and rain, not to mention high winds. This storm has it all. This is the 6th. Well, we said the snow was coming, and it is here. This is a live look in Allentown, Lehigh County. Visibility's not the greatest. Accumulation here could end up in the double digits by the time this is all over. And on radar, you can see the storm is really covering the entire region, really just a huge portion of the country at this point. And it's got a little bit of everything. There's snow, but there's also a lot of ice and rain coming behind that. And we all just need to stay alert tonight, because as the night goes on, the snow is going to get heavier, and then it'll mix with that ice and rain in some places. PennDOT and PA Turnpike are already phasing in vehicle restrictions around the state. Thanks for joining us. This is the 6th. I'm Shayna Humphreys.
I'm Jason Martinez, live in Havertown, Delaware County. We did say the snow was coming. It is here. There were a lot of Twitter trolls telling me, watch, we're only going to get a dusting. This probably isn't going to be much. Well, look behind me. This is not a dusting. This was a storm that Kathy predicted, and Kathy, you really delivered.
Oh, thanks, Jason. Yeah, it's a work in progress right now. We're watching this hour by hour, and I'm looking behind you, and I saw the kids back there eager to play in the snow. Play in the snow now, kids, because once that sleet keeps going and going, it's going to create a little bit of a crust on that snow, and that will be hard when you're making a snowman and throwing snowballs. Outside right now, we're seeing improving conditions because we have changed over to sleet in Philadelphia as well. This is Center City, Philadelphia, and it doesn't take much snow, maybe an inch or half an inch, to create problems on the roads, so please be aware of that. Our storm system tracked inland as we expected, and that's what's drawing in this warmer air. It will pull away overnight, and it's going to end early by about 6-7 a.m. It will be out of here tomorrow morning. Ultimate Doppler showing that warm surge moving our way and the back edge of precipitation over central parts of Virginia, but we still have a ways to go here. That warmer air moving up the I-95 corridor, sleet already occurring in Chester County, in Delaware County, where we saw Jason. Even into parts of Monco, we are seeing the sleet mixing in, and you will stay in the sleet, and that will limit the snow accumulations through at least the midnight 1 a.m. hour, and then the storm will pull away and we'll transition back to a little snow, and then it will be all over. Visibility reduced to 0.3 of a mile in Trenton. Look at New York City, the same. That means some heavy snow falling there. Half-mile visibility in Reading, just 1/3 of a mile in Allentown. Poconos, 0.8 of a mile, Wrightstown at 0.5 mile as well. The visibility great as you go a little bit farther in South Jersey where we're seeing rain, but those winds are going to be fierce tonight. Snowfall forecast, still expecting that 6 to 10 as you head toward Upper Dublin and Hatfield into Warrington, Northampton, even into West Goshen. 10 to 15 as we go through Limerick, Upper Frederick. This is where we're going to stay all snow, and that's into Reading up in the Poconos as well. You had your 1 to 3 through Southampton, Glassboro, Pine Valley. You're pretty much done with the snow. You're transitioned to sleet. We're transitioning right along the I-95 corridor as well in our 3 to 6 inch range. Little snow on the back end, though, as I mentioned. Northern western suburbs now through about 9 o'clock. Snow heavy at times. North and west in the Lehigh Valley, Philadelphia, and adjacent New Jersey and Delaware suburbs. Snow to that mix. We're seeing that happening right now. Central Delaware and South Jersey, rain and gusty winds. So back over to snow in our northern western zones overnight tonight, but there's not going to be a lot of moisture left, guys. So most of the snow in the Philadelphia area has already fallen. We'll send it back to you.
And Kathy, you know, snow may only be half of the story. When it's all said and done, the wind might be the bigger weather story of the night. And Chris O'Connell's live in Allentown, where it's blowing where you are, Chris.
Yeah, the snow certainly is not over yet here in the Lehigh Valley, Jason. Heavy snow continues to fall. It has been. It really started out as this light stuff, but has really gotten heavy over the past hour or two. We are along Airport Road near Route 22. Hardly anyone out on the roadways. Dave, let's show on the roadways. We're right near Lehigh Valley Airport. It is snow covered right now. The plows trying to do their jobs. They're pre-treated, but just look at the blowing snow. Go up at this light. The blowing snow just continues. They say we could get up to 15 inches here. Let's go to the roadways now. Roads all over the Lehigh Valley getting worse by the hour. PennDOT instituted speed restrictions on the major highways, 95, the Turnpike, Northeast Extension. We're seeing lots of plows out there. First pre-treated, then the salt. Now they are in snow removal mode. We spoke with several drivers who say it's been a while since we had to drive in these conditions.
Weather forecast, terrible, right, son?
Yeah.
It's terrible out here. Stay home unless you got a Jeep or something 4-wheel drive.
Pretty icy out, as a matter of fact. But I just came across the bridge, and you know, it's mostly one lane. Even on 2-lane roads, it's all just everybody on one lane, so pretty bad.
Yeah, like I said, it's several inches probably out here, and from what we're gathering from Kathy telling us, the snow won't stop up here in the Lehigh Valley. To show you exactly how much, last hour we had a ruler out here. Guys, I put my ruler down, and it literally got buried in the snow. I know it's somewhere around here, so there it is. It literally got buried. I came out, I literally couldn't find it. Let me just check real quick. Let me give you a check here. 3.5 inches here in Allentown. Once again, unofficial, but it's going to be a long night here in the Lehigh Valley, guys.
And last time we saw you, it was just a couple, so nearly doubled. Again, not a scientific measurement, but it shows us just how much it's piled up there. And wow, we can see it just blowing sideways right now. Chris, stay safe out there. SEPTA is making some changes because of all this snow. The Market Frankfurt and Broad Street lines will still be running overnight instead of owl buses. The city trolley tunnel will also stay open overnight. But the Norristown high-speed line will be suspended for late night and overnight rides. There is no change to the regional rail schedules.
And when you're talking about a storm like this, you kind of expected these sorts of delays, both on the road and on the rails. Let's get out to Jeff Cole now, tracking the storms from Swarthmore, Delaware County, not far from where I am. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah, hey, Jason, certainly not much snow coming down here, but the sleet's still whacking away here. Not too many folks on the road. Icy, certainly treacherous. Not a night anybody wants to be out. You know, despite the fact that we've got a significant snowstorm going on, we're still stuck in a pandemic. And folks here in Delaware County had to think about what they were doing here, certainly, because they've got COVID testing sites. They are outdoors, and they needed to make some decisions today with what to do with those.
Swarthmore Hardware in the Delco College town has welcomed locals for decades.
Everybody here in town shops here just about, and a lot of them even have accounts here and everything. They come in and out. We're on a first name basis, so it's good.
When the snow flies, so do the shovels and supplies right out the door. Ice melt is a hot item.
We had a bunch left from last year because we never got a significant snowstorm or anything, so I'm selling out of that now, too.
The early afternoon snow had county officials thinking about the rush hour ahead. It is the perfect storm.
Snow falling at rush hour is the worst time we can expect it. This is the time people will get on the road, they'll forget what it's like to drive in snow, and we'll have a significant amount of traffic accidents.
The courthouse and government center closed in Delco at 2. The pandemic remains a concern even in the snow as officials considered their outdoor COVID testing.
The safety of our people performing the test is impacted, but we recognize that if we delay testing, people will delay getting results.
State police have increased patrols and urged motorists to clear their vehicles of snow. They ask if you must drive to do it with caution and without speed.
Please asking you to stay home, drive slow and safe if you need to. If you become stranded on the side of the roadway, we are asking that you please make sure that you stay with your vehicle until help arrives.
State police also want to once again remind folks to clear the snow, of course, from their cars. They say if the snow comes out and injures sort of a driver in a vehicle behind you, you'd be held responsible for it. Live in Swarthmore, I'm Jeff Cole, Fox 29 News. Jason.
The snow was coming down in big flakes in Morristown. This is just a little bit ago, but for much of South Jersey, that snow has now turned to sleet. This storm is going to be with us all night, whether you're still seeing snow or if it's turned to sleet, but we've got you covered on all of it, and we'll be right back. This is Lehigh County, where the snow was just starting to sneak in earlier this afternoon, and we have this time-lapse video of Allentown showing you as the sky starts to just get a little bit darker, the traffic slows down, and then you just see that snow start to stick to the rooftops and sidewalks, but luckily, at least at that point, not the roads.
And, you know, up until now, it's been kind of nice to try to outdoor dine and, you know, enjoy some of the cool, crisp weather. I don't know about this now, Kelly. You're live in Ardmore and you're tracking the outdoor dining situation. Good luck tonight.
Yeah, Jason, actually, we were thinking about that earlier with the snow kind of gently falling. It wasn't too bad, but does it get any worse than freezing cold rain? I mean, we do have a couple of inches of snow on the ground here, which makes for a nice backdrop, but Lower Merion Township officials have declared a snow emergency. They're urging people not to leave. You can see why. And for restaurants, some just decided to close down completely today. Other businesses, like they have throughout all of 2020, are just trying to make it work. It's no outdoor dining weather, but it wasn't bad enough to hop in line at Tired Hands Brewing in Ardmore for beer to go before the snow started to pick up.
I love the weather. I'll be hunkered down. I have some nice cold brews to enjoy over the next 24 to 48 hours. Happy holiday.
Mark Edkin knows what he will be doing, but for restaurants, it's another guessing game. Some felt it wasn't worth it to stay open through Wednesday night.
The snow's not going to stop them, and we're here.
But for Bella Italia Pizza in Ardmore, open almost 39 years, Vinny Salufo says if they can stay open for a pandemic, they will for takeout and delivery during snow, even if this year business is unpredictable.
Historically, snow days have been good, but with everything else going on, we'll see. One day at a time, like everything else.
As Lower Merion Township crews prepared for the flakes to fall, Jonathan Velasquez prepared to close for the day. He says pre-pandemic, Coffee Bar thrived in this type of weather.
Not the usual business, but, we have to do what is best for the moment.
These brave souls took a break from virtual learning to squeeze in an outdoor meal. I asked Theodore if he wanted a snow day Thursday.
Maybe, but I really want to go to school.
He had a good attitude. So you're looking now live at Lancaster Avenue here in Ardmore. Quiet, but there are still some cars on the road, and you can see there really is still a pretty thick layer of snow there. We have seen plows come through, but the roads are looking a little messy. They're getting through okay, but you definitely want to be slow if you have to go out. If you don't leave at all. I mean, freezing rain, nobody wants to be out in this.
No, that's the best advice. All right, stay warm, stay dry out there. Thanks, Kelly. All right, let's get to Hank Flynn now out in Bucks County. I see the snow's falling pretty good where you are as well, Hank.
It's fallen very well, Shana, with some of that sleet that Kelly mentioned in up here, but snowflakes as big as a nickel. Newtown Borough Police here, I will mention, they literally just found a woman's phone that she had lost in the snow. You can't pay these guys enough, but it's just another example of how our game gets changed as a snow plow goes by. Really, the story here has a lot to do with that, how we got here. 3 hours ago, look at this video. We're driving up I-95. I tweeted out that it was sloppy but doable. Not sure that's the case anymore. It's probably a lot worse out there. It definitely was as we get around to the Newtown bypass. You see snowplows driving through there. And when we get in here to Newtown proper along State Street in Newtown Borough, it's beautiful, Dickensian even, but it's getting harder to pass. This is the main street in Newtown. The plows have been doing a good job, but the snow's falling real hard. Look, we've done this before. We just haven't had to do it in a while. I spoke with one gentleman who owns 4 stores here along Newtown State Street. He told me he sent his employees home at 4 o'clock for 2 reasons. First and foremost, it's safer. Second of all, where are the customers? A couple of stores stayed open. Thank goodness for the zebra striped whale. They had my coffee tonight at 6 o'clock, but they closed up a half hour ago. Now at this point, good folks walking down the street with their pets. People just trying to get their exercise out tonight, but no one's going far from anywhere. At this point, guys, we've spoken to police. They had a couple of fender benders out in Newtown, but here in the borough, it's been clean. The fire department has told me it just makes it harder to get to things. But at the end of the day, guys, if you can't tell from my face, from my shivering, it's really time to go hunker in the bunker. I'm going home. You should too. And if you're all home already, have a cup of hot cocoa.
You look positively cozy, Hank. You deserve some hot cocoa, a nice blanket. All right, see you later, Hank. The storm is still chugging along, as we've just seen, and so are we, Kathy.
We sure are. Hank has those giant flakes, so mixing with a little sleet soon there in Newtown as well. Philadelphia, we're seeing sleet and some drier air moving into this storm, but staying really wintry as you head toward the Lehigh Valley. We'll talk more about the forecast and what's to come when we come back.
Back to this big snowstorm covering our entire area right now. This is a live look over the Ben Franklin Parkway. You can't really see it falling here, but it is still falling fast in much of our area. It's been a while since we've seen this much snow, almost a few years. Kathy has your full forecast for you in 15 seconds.
It is so exciting. Shana said it earlier. It's a change of pace. It's something different. And if you look out your window, it looks really pretty. Center City, Philadelphia, you can see the roads have been plowed right here, so the cars are moving along. But if you have to go out this evening, please take it slow because there will be icy spots. Temperatures in many locations below freezing. Visibility reduced to 0.3 miles in Allentown. You saw our Chris O'Connor O'Connor, near blizzard conditions there. Winds are gusting at 27 miles an hour and visibility reduced. Trenton, 0.3 of a mile. Wrightstown, a half-mile visibility. Look at New York City at 0.3 of a mile visibility as well. Philadelphia, we've improved, as well as in Wilmington, because we have the sleet. Maybe a little rain will mix in there as well, but mainly staying in the sleet until our storm pulls away in the Philadelphia area. But where Chris is in Allentown, Pottstown, you're staying all snow. Temperatures in the teens in the Poconos, locking in the snow. The same in Allentown, same in Pottstown. Trenton at 26, you're going to stay in the snow. Philadelphia at 32, you see this onshore flow, keeping it mild in South Jersey. We're seeing wind chills. Wow, in the teens. Philadelphia, it feels like 18. You saw our Hank Flynn out there shivering. Wind chills in the teens as well in Pottstown and Reading, only 11. It feels like 5 in Allentown, where our Chris O'Connell is. So it's really brutal out there to the north and west of the city. Fox Futurecast shows that sleet moving northward. It's in Chester County, it's in Montgomery County, parts of lower Bucks County, it's in Philadelphia, and that limits your snow accumulations right through the midnight hour. But as our storm pulls away, look what happens. The cold comes back in, and at least from Philadelphia north and west, we see all snow as it departs early tomorrow morning. So by 7 a.m., a few spotty snow showers, that's it. And the storm's pretty much out of here. That's the good news. But the wind will continue to be gusting between about 30 and 50 miles an hour. This is this evening. And look at down the shore, gust to at least 50 through the overnight into tomorrow morning. Our storm moves off the coast of Long Island by the morning hours, still gusting to 44 miles an hour in Philadelphia, in Millville, Wildwood, Dover, and Atlantic City, gust to 50 miles an hour. With the heavy snow throughout the Delaware Valley and those gusty winds through South Jersey, power outages a real possibility, so please be prepared for that. Overnight tonight, temperatures will be in the 20s and 30s. Highs tomorrow will be cold in the 30s. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Kathy, and we're going to take a quick break.
And welcome back to Fox 29. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Blustery for your Thursday, cold for Friday and Saturday, and moderating temperatures for Sunday into next week. Shane and Jason, that snow is going to be sticking around a little while with these cold temperatures.
All right. Thank you, Kathy. And that does it for the 6. We're going to cover the latest on this tonight at 10 and 11. Extra is coming your way next, and we'll see you back here later tonight for Fox 29 News. Stay safe out there. We haven't seen the radar like this in a long time. A nor'easter dumping snow, sleet, and rain across our area. This is a live look at Allentown. Look at those roads. Lehigh County is seeing some of the highest snow totals across our area, and it's not over yet.
And let's move over to Bucks County now. Pennsylvania officials urging drivers to stay off the roads. A big concern tonight, though, will be ice. In New Jersey, Governor Phil Murphy issued a state of emergency because of the storm. You can see the snow coming down in Haddonfield this earlier tonight.
Of course, our crews are all spread out all around the region tonight, showing us just how the storm is impacting where you live. And one thing is for sure, we are not quite out of the woods just yet. I'm Shayna Humphreys.
Not quite yet. I'm Jason Martinez. We're live tonight here in Havertown, Delaware County, right in front of my neighborhood. And we've seen it all here. Rain, sleet, some big fat flakes a little earlier of snow, several inches in fact. And now we're left with a gorgeous blanket of snow in this winter wonderland we call Delco and across the entire Delaware Valley. What a beautiful storm it has been. Of course, my neighbors are back there. They have some kind of snowstorm party going on with beverages while I'm out here working. But that's a whole different story. But back inside we go, and Kathy, talking snowfall totals, and this storm isn't over yet.
No, most of the snow has fallen, but you're right, the storm is not over just yet. You see some light precipitation falling right now in our suburbs, mainly in the form of sleet, a little bit of snow, and also some freezing rain. As we take a zoom in, you can see the dry air that's making its way into the system, lifting up from the south, toward the north along that I-95 corridor. Still rain in South Jersey, that wintry mix north and west. In the Lehigh Valley, some patchy snow showers continue. So this is going to be what's going to be going on over the next several hours. What you see is what you get. Visibility up to 1 mile in Allentown. That's actually an improvement. Same in the Poconos, Trenton, 1 mile. Elsewhere, improved visibility as we're seeing mainly some sleet and freezing rain. You can see in Atlantic City, we actually have fog at the airport, 1.7 mile visibility. Here's a look at the snow amounts today. Some of the highest totals. Coopersburg is in Lehigh County, 9 inches. Easton, 9 inches. Quakertown, 8 inches. Near 7 inches in Elverson. Chadds Ford, 6 inches. And Royers Ford, close to 6 inches of snow. And we are going to be seeing this, as I mentioned, right now, seeing the sleet staying where it is for the next couple of hours. But after the midnight hour, the storm pulls away. All this changes over to snow, especially right toward Philadelphia, maybe a wintry mix continuing in South Jersey. And then 4 a.m. to 7 a.m., it pulls away and we see drying conditions. The next big problem is going to be the wind. Winds already gusting to about 35, even 45 miles an hour. And that wind will be brutal during the day tomorrow as well. Between now and 7 a.m., northwestern suburbs, Lehigh Valley, that precipitation will change back over to light snow ending about 7 a.m. Philadelphia and adjacent suburbs in New Jersey and Delaware, any wintry mix changing over to light snow and ending early tomorrow morning. In central Delaware and South Jersey, the rain ends and the howling winds continue, which will be a big factor come tomorrow morning with wind chills. We'll talk more about that coming up. For now, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Kathy. And those howling winds you're talking about, Chris, you know all about those. You've seen some of the worst this storm has to offer out there in Allentown.
Yeah, according to Kathy earlier tonight, we were seeing near blizzard conditions here in the Lehigh Valley. We're in Allentown right now where about 7-8 inches of snow fell. It has lightened up, very light snow. It is really just blowing around right now. But the story you see, look at behind me. This is what you see all over the Lehigh Valley. That truck right now is stuck in the snow. What you can't see, another truck right there is a tow truck behind that trying to dig out that truck. The 8 inches here made for some very slippery nights on some area roadways. Take a look earlier on. Drivers were just slipping and sliding all over the place. The snow at one point coming down at a rate of about 1.5 inches per hour. Also saw very gusty winds blowing the snow all over the roads. Among the few people out on the highways tonight, many plow truck drivers. Of course, they're happy to be back at it for the first time in about 20 months since the last snowfall. Even they say this was a lot to handle.
The last 3 hours, I think we got about 7 inches on the ground. Every time I make a pass, I come back around the building and there's already more snow on the ground. I mean, pretty exciting, you know, for plowing snow for like almost 30 years. You know, I don't remember the snow coming down this fast.
Now, like we said, a lot of people slipping and sliding out there tonight. We were actually keeping busy helping people, stranded motorists, get out of the snowbanks. We, like to say we're a full-service newscast, guys. Bring it back out here live. That truck is still stuck. Many others are still stuck. I also want to say we had my ruler out here, our marker. First of all, look, I'm knee deep in snow right now. This is what it's been doing, blowing around. What is it? This is at 14 inches right now at a snowdrift, just to give you an idea of how much this is blowing around. And guys, one more thing. Talk about a cruel joke, huh? We got about 8 inches of snow here. Allentown school students will be going to school tomorrow virtually. They don't have to leave. They can have school in their home. No snow day for Allentown students.
You know, someday when they're telling their great-grandkids about going to school both ways uphill in the snow, they'll just have to describe it with
Right.
Zoom, I guess.
Zoom.
A little bit of a different effect, but hey, it's something. All right, thank you, Chris. From Lehigh County to Chester County we go. Let's see what kind of shape the roads are in right now. It's piled up out there. You can tell it's slippery. All-wheel drive is your friend in these kinds of conditions. PennDOT announced speed restrictions across the state as the storm started to roll in today. If you have to go out, definitely take it slow. Here's a time lapse from Westchester just showing how fast that snow moved in. You can see some of those headlights, the traffic change, and drivers navigating those snowy streets as huge flakes just pelted our camera. Let's head to Delco now and Wayne. Dawn, what's happening out there?
Well, Shana, we've seen a little bit of everything today. Right now, it's just a really cold rain, but you can see the sidewalks have not been shoveled here, and so there's a little snow on the sidewalks. The roads here, this is Lancaster Avenue. It's one of the main drags here, and it's not looking too bad, but the side streets are really bad. Let's take a look at some of the video that we shot earlier today. This is the plows out in force in Wayne. They had a tough job to do because the rain was just coming down, or the snow was just coming down earlier. It turned to rain probably about 5:30, freezing rain, sleet. So as I said, we've seen a lot of everything. I talked to the owner of a local plowing company, and he's had quite a day and night.
We've been out since this afternoon, and we've been from Villanova to Westchester. People are just stuck everywhere, and then other people try and pass the people that are stuck, and they get stuck, and then it's just nobody can go anywhere. It's awful. Every storm. You think they would learn by now?
You definitely think people would learn, right? Because we've seen a lot of stuck people ourselves. The big story right now is this freezing cold rain and the wind. I don't know if you can see the flags flapping in the wind up there, but it's a very windy, cold, miserable night here in Wayne. I mean, it looks pretty, but it's not so pretty when you're standing out in it, that's for sure, Shana and Jason.
We believe you. It does look pretty, and you look great too, Dawn. All right.
Thank you.
Stay warm out there. In Salem County, Pennsville got plenty of snow as well. When our crews got there, it started to turn into sleet, making those roads really icy and creating a lot of messy slush.
All archdiocesan schools in Philadelphia will go virtual tomorrow because of the weather. And as for archdiocesan schools in the suburbs, they may follow the direction from local school districts. Let's get out to Shawnette now. And how are things looking in the city?
Well, Jason, you know, I was extremely cool with the snow, but now the wind and whatever this crunchy stuff is that's happening, I could do without that. I just like the snow. But as we take a look down at where we are right now, you can see the sidewalks, and it's like this much around the city, are continuously being plowed. And then you take a look at the roads there, and you can see that they are still very gritty, very messy. But none of this mattered to people who were out tonight, surprisingly supporting local restaurants. Outside dining in Philly, not to be outdone by snow, sleet, or rain. In Rittenhouse this evening, people filled heated tents in the middle of a whiteout while helping businesses hopefully still have a good night. And then there are people like Ayeksha Neal working for DoorDash, picking up orders for people who want to stay at home during the storm.
I know this would be the most beneficial day that I could make money. I could probably make $500-600 just tonight by itself.
We talked to Neal picking up orders from the Cheesecake Factory in Center City.
It's hard out here finding jobs, and you know, this COVID has had everyone in shambles. I'm just here trying to do something productive and make some money to get through the holidays.
She says driving her car in the storm is a challenge, though.
It did not look like this an hour ago. It's coming down like lightning.
Ted, also a food deliverer, was out on his bike.
I have some fantastic tires, and I have a waterproof case for my phone, and this jacket's supposed to be waterproof.
Another man making food deliveries by bike has a different take.
I have a problem. Look at, you see? It's very problem. You know, my bike, you know, is moving.
In Spring Garden, businesses like Del Rossi's Cheesesteak Company say business remained the same today.
More or less, it is delivery. I imagine that people just got off the roads and wanted to stay home.
Overall, Center City stayed busy throughout the evening. Plenty of people out simply enjoying the snow.
This is very uplifting, and I love it.
All right, and so that young lady, Ayeksha, her birthday is actually on Christmas Day, and Shana, she is hoping to get most of what we saw today on that special day. So we'll have to check in with Kathy Orr to see what her predictions are for Ayeksha's birthday.
Yeah. soon. Happy early birthday to her. Thank you, Shawnette. As we take a look at the Philadelphia skyline from our attheshore.com camera, the city has announced trash pickup will not be happening tomorrow. All sanitation crews were diverted to help out with snow duty. So if Thursday is normally your pickup day, it'll be Friday instead this week. And Friday pickups will now be on Saturday. Let's take you live down the shore for a look at the wet and deserted boardwalk in Wildwood. Wasn't that long ago that this was the place we all wanted to be, but not so much at the moment. Moving to Bucks County, looking live in Bensalem. They got 5 inches of snow there. Depending on where you live in the county, you could still be seeing some light snow or maybe some sleet by now.
And meanwhile, in Marlton, New Jersey, a sheet of ice now covering all that snow. This video was shared with us by Josh McNally as the sleet started falling tonight. It's starting to fall here in Delco, too. And look at this close call outside Pittsburgh. That's EMS workers having to run for cover as an out-of-control truck barrels into their vehicle. Ooh. This happened today while the crew was trying to help out someone in a different accident. But incredibly, the best news here is that nobody was hurt. But Kathy, you know, wow. A lot of people are out of practice from driving in the snow these days. I think they better get up to speed quickly.
Absolutely. It's always the first storm. It's the hardest. And when it verifies, when you actually see the snow, it's kind of shocking. We were really amazed at how quickly it came down, even though we knew it was going to come down about 1 inch or 2 inches an hour, especially up to the north. Look at Center City, Philadelphia. It's like a little winter wonderland. We do have areas of fog out there, so please be aware of that. Temperatures are going to continue to drop as our storm pulls away. So anything, even that's been treated, is going to refreeze overnight tonight. So lots of icy conditions come tomorrow morning. It's only 17 in the Poconos and 21 in Allentown. Still seeing this onshore flow with the storm just to the south of us. Mild temperatures in Millville and Wildwood, and even in the 40s in Atlantic City, and we're seeing some fog there as well. So cold temperatures to the north and west, mild to the south and east, but these winds are the big story, gusting to 40 miles an hour in the Poconos, gusting to 50 miles an hour, or I should say 40 in Wilmington, gusting near 50 miles an hour at the Atlantic City Airport, and that's some 9 miles inland. Wind chills right now, 1 below in the Poconos. We haven't seen that yet this fall. 22 is the wind chill in Wilmington, 19 in Philadelphia. It feels like 5 in Allentown, where our Chris O'Connell is. So very cold. And come tomorrow morning, wind chills in the teens. So tomorrow morning will be blustery. It will be brutal out there. We're not used to this. Then during the day, temperatures will be slowly rising. But you can see during the overnight, we're going to be transitioning from a little sleet in Philadelphia to a little snow. And then it comes to an end. Clouds will give way to sun, and that sun will work on melting some of the icy conditions. We'll send it back to you.
Okay, thank you, Kathy. Let's take another look outside live at Chester County. It's dark out there, but you can still tell the roads are covered. That slushy snow that Kathy was talking about, especially getting that icy layer on top, starting to add up. So if you do have to head anywhere, hopefully you don't, but if you do, just take it really slow. Leave a lot of space between you and any other vehicle.
And keep it right here on Fox 29. We are your weather authority, and we'll be taking you through the nor'easter hour by hour. And, of course, wake up early with Good Day. A half an hour earlier tomorrow morning, they'll be getting things started at 3:30. Let's get back to our storm coverage now and head up to North Jersey and up the New Jersey Parkway. And Dan Bowen standing by in Nutley, New Jersey. How are things up there, Dan?
Yeah, Nutley, New Jersey, Essex County off 151, exit 151 heading south on the Garden State Parkway. You can see some of the storm and some of the snow that's starting to accumulate, and the problems also piling up here in New Jersey. Down in South Brunswick, we know there are power problems. We know that there are wires that have come down onto the roadway there, the frozen wires that have come down that are causing a bit of problems there. We have one of the Garden State Parkway officials who've driving by now. How the roads look out there, sir?
They're not bad.
Not bad, he says. And we have a lot of impediments that are happening, or everything is okay?
Everything's okay.
Everything is okay for now, he's saying. Thank you very much, sir. And we've got all kinds of problems all up and down New Jersey, up and down the Garden State Parkway. The governor here has put us in a state of emergency, of course, and all counties here in New Jersey are under some kind of alert or warning. And that means that the different types of weather that we're dealing with, whether it's snow or ice or sleet or wind, it is just a mess out here. And no matter how much you clean up tonight, when you wake up tomorrow morning, you know that there are going to be problems, and there's going to be problems for at least the next few days, Jason.
All right, Dan Bowen's live in North Jersey for us, and conditions pretty much identical here in the Delaware Valley as well. Dan, thank you very much. And this storm is not going anywhere anytime soon. This is a look at people hard at work plowing in South Philly. And let's take another live look at Bucks County. A big concern now is the cold and the ice, and I'll throw in the wind on top of that. We'll check back in with Kathy, plus take you around the region coming up next.
You are looking live right now over Reading, Berks County, where snow has been piling up. Those roads don't look too bad at the moment, but you can see how slow of a go it is, and that's just the idea to keep in mind as this storm finishes up in our area. Taking a closer look at that hill. Doesn't that seem like the perfect spot to go sledding? I imagine a number of kiddos are going to take advantage of that tomorrow. Several Berks County department buildings will be closed tomorrow. However, they will still operate virtually, and that includes the courts.
And Katie Byrne spent the day in Lancaster County, and here she is with more on conditions there.
Hey, Jason and Shayna, well, the snow is still coming down here in Lancaster. It started a little earlier than Philly at about 11:30 this morning, and it hasn't really stopped all day. Now it's starting to feel a little harder, more like freezing rain. I'm getting a little bit of an exfoliation on my face, but that's all right. Forecasters are saying now with the sun going down, the big concern is the roads getting icy, so they're warning people to not go out and drive here in Lancaster, and they're expecting about 2 to 3 inches of snow per hour overnight. There's already about 5 inches on the ground here. Here's how locals feel about it.
It has been a while.
A couple years.
Yes. And I feel like we were talking about how the excitement last time was really high, but this time is even more because we're stuck at home doing Zoom meetings and we don't have a lot of options. So playing in the snow is super exciting.
It is super just energizing and like joy-giving right now.
Yeah, we've been hearing a lot of that from people here in Lancaster today, just saying they're excited to get outside while working from home and being cooped up all the time. And what's interesting is 61 out of the 67 counties in Pennsylvania are under winter storm warnings. That's almost all of them. Here in Lancaster, they expect the snow to taper off by sunrise tomorrow, and it's supposed to be partly sunny tomorrow, which could help people who may have shoveled tonight. In Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Katie Byrne, Fox 29 News.
Thanks, Katie. In Delaware County, snow supplies were just flying off the shelves at this hardware store in Swarthmore. It's been a while, very long time, since we've seen any kind of real storm in this area. County officials talked about that today and said they were worried about those who had to drive.
People will get on the road, they'll forget what it's like to drive in snow, and we'll have a significant amount of traffic accidents.
Unfortunately, there was a 2-car crash in Ridley Township that sent multiple people to the hospital. That happened on I-95. We haven't heard yet how they're doing now. And we want to take another live look outside in Chester County, where one of our crews is moving around to just show us the road conditions around the area. And it's a mess out there. It seems like it has been plowed on this particular road, but you can see more snow, more sleet still piling up.
Yeah, slow go. That's your friend there. And Kathy, we just had a big time downpour here in Delaware County of sleet.
You know what? I just was looking at your picture and I said, is it sleeting or is it raining? Yeah, you can tell things are changing big time. That warmer air is working its way up the I-95 corridor. You have a wintry mix, also freezing rain, heavy precipitation moving our way. But the back edge is over Richmond and it's lifting north. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. This will be ending overnight into the early morning hours. We'll be back with that timing coming up.
Hey, look at that. First time we've seen this in years. People sledding and snowboarding down the Art Museum steps, just getting out, trying to have some fun. It's always a good time, but especially in a year like 2020 when good times are few and far between. It's all the more great. And let's take a live look the other direction, sort of. This is a quiet Ben Franklin Parkway. It's sleeting out there now. And just what a difference a couple of hours can make. Just watch the nor'easter unfold with this time-lapse video. We haven't seen this kind of snow in Philly for almost a few years.
Yeah, and a lot of people are enjoying it. They will be enjoying it in the morning. We're out here in Havertown, and schools in Haverford Township are having an old-fashioned snow day. So you're going to see a lot of this tomorrow, these little, sleds. And, I think I'm going to try. I got a flat lawn here, but I'm going to hand my mic to Marty. I'm just going to try it.
Just a running start.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Slip and slide style.
Oh, he's stuck.
Was it fun? Was it everything you hoped?
Too much ice.
So, Kathy, he's talking about too much ice. This is going to be an issue a lot of people have to deal with tomorrow. Of course, the kids are going to get out there, and this is that kind of sledding it's fun for speed. It hurts when you go down.
It does hurt because you have that thin layer of sleet or ice on top of that nice snow, right? And also, if you try to make a snowman, you have sheets of ice or pieces of ice. We also have to watch out when the sun comes out tomorrow morning. If people are going to be driving, make sure you brush off your car, because when it starts to melt, those sheets of ice come flying off your car to the person behind you, and that can be very dangerous. Take a look at Ultimate Doppler. We can see the end of the storm, the back end of the precipitation to the north of Richmond, everything moving toward the northeast, and some warm air getting in here. Here's rain and also some freezing rain moving up that I-95 corridor. So any type of wintry mix that we're seeing now, or a wintry mess, is going to be changing over to some light flurries as colder air moves in as the storm pushes away and moves toward the north and east overnight tonight. But still seeing a wintry mix in Tredyffrin, even in Philadelphia. Saw a little freezing rain as I stepped outside just a few minutes ago. Abington as well, seeing that mix in Aston, and some rain. And as you go farther to the south and east through South Jersey, some heavy rain as well in areas of fog. So we are seeing some of that warm air riding up and over that snowpack, so that will create some visibility issues as well overnight. 0.8 of a mile our visibility right now in Trenton. Due to the snow in Allentown, we have 1 mile visibility with some fog there as well. Wind speeds are very impressive. We do have winds gusting to 40, even 50 miles an hour, but these are sustained winds. That onshore flow continuing. Winds sustain at 26 miles an hour in Atlantic City, sustain at 25 miles an hour in Wilmington. That's impressive. And as we go hour by hour, we'll see all of this precipitation beginning to come to an end overnight. You see that blue, that's the snow as the colder air comes down. Most of us end as some light snow and flurries, but most of the snow has fallen. So as we look at our planner tomorrow, starting off with dry conditions, and we'll be seeing temperatures in the mid-30s. I'll be back with that 7-day forecast, some ups and downs in that as well. We'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Kathy and Chris. You're in the thick of it. Allentown bearing the brunt of a lot of this snow and wind.
Yeah, we are getting the snow, we're getting the wind, we are getting the bitterly cold temperatures that come with that wind chill. The snow has tapered off. It is really, I guess now it's a sleet coming down, but we just got a wallop here in the Lehigh Valley when we were seeing clips of snow rates coming down of about 1.5 to 2 inches an hour at some point. Take a look at some of the road. Actually, let's go over here. Well, I want to show you this guy, the guy in the plow lot. We've been talking to him all night. He's been out here since like 3 o'clock this afternoon. He's been doing the same parking lot. That is a Mohegan Sun sportsbook parking lot over there. He's been plowing that. Every time he gets done, he's got to start all over again. So that has been what people up here in the Lehigh Valley are dealing with. Take a look at some video from earlier. The roadways, people just slipping and sliding all over the place. Most people staying off the roads. Good thing. PennDOT and local municipalities getting a really good handle on it. We talked with a couple drivers, some plow drivers, who said even in this, even without snow over the past couple of years, this was very impressive.
Weather forecast, terrible, right, son?
Yeah.
It's terrible out here. Stay home unless you got a Jeep or something four-wheel drive.
Pretty icy out, as a matter of fact. But I just came across the bridge, and you know, it's mostly one lane. Even on 2-lane roads, it's all just everybody on one lane, so pretty bad.
As we bring you back out here, I have my meter stick here at 10 inches. We're measuring right here in the parking lot. It has been blowing a lot, but I can tell you that sleet coming down, you could probably see it here in the light, just pelting you in the face. It stings. We're still not out of the woods of this nor'easter here in the Lehigh Valley. Guys?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we can see it, Chris. We didn't even need the light. It's clear. It just looks like a blizzard out there. Thanks for showing it to us. All right, Dawn is in Wayne tonight. Dawn, how's it looking where you are now?
Well, Shayna, we really have seen a little bit of everything tonight. Snow, rain, sleet. I know Jason mentioned just a short time ago that they saw a deluge of sleet, and we did here too. But it is really beautiful here in Wayne. The Wayne Christmas tree is all lit, and if you take a look across the street, all the trees are lit up. It's beautiful, but it's a little bit deceiving because the temperature has dropped. The roads are slick. If you take a look, even though the plows have been through, they're still icy and slick. If we can take a look at some video we shot earlier, the plow trucks were certainly out in force here in Wayne trying to get a handle on this. And earlier tonight, the snow was really coming down fast and furious. Again, it's since changed, but we talked to some people who were out driving it, and they say it just really was not fun at all.
I came back on 422 east into King of Prussia, and that was really bad. 422 was probably going about 10 miles an hour, and this vehicle's very good in the snow, and I had to lock in the locking differential, which is something most SUVs don't even have, just to kind of keep it straight on the road. So it's bad. I'm headed home now.
Good idea. It really is a good night to stay in, stay warm, and put your feet up on the couch, Shane and Jason.
Absolutely. Let's all look forward to that a little bit later tonight. Thank you, Dawn. And let's take you back out on the roads now. Just a static shot of this road. That car's moving pretty quickly out there. This is Bucks County. The roads are slick. Even if they have been cleared, you can still see there's a good layer of slushy, snowy sleet on there now. The same message you're hearing from leaders around the region is if you don't have to go out, if you don't have to drive, don't. Check this out, a live look at the city from the shore.com, at the shore.com cameras. You can see the Society Hill Towers in the background. It almost looks like a painting, does it? Just a beautiful sight.
Everything does.
Yeah.
It really does. Kids in my neighborhood with sleds, they look like Norman Rockwell paintings. It's all gorgeous. Shawnette's enjoying the conditions out there in Philly as well. How is it out there?
Well, Jason, as you know by now, we have certainly seen a little bit of everything. Snow, sleet, rain, and now we are still feeling that wind. But I tell you what, it hasn't stopped people from being out all around the city for much of the evening. So earlier tonight, though, we were out all around Center City, and there were plenty of people out just walking, enjoying the wintry weather, and also people who were working. Another thing that we were surprised to see is that there were quite a bit of people out supporting restaurants around Center City, making use of all those heated tents that, you know, we're used to seeing now in the streets and on sidewalks. Plenty of people were there supporting people just dining out, basically, in the midst of all this wintry weather. Now, we also saw a lot of people who were delivering food. Those food deliverers were expected to make quite a bit of money tonight. One young lady said that she thought she could make up to $600 in just a few hours. They were out delivering food, some in cars, of course, others on bikes. Although they expected to make a lot of money, they say that it was pretty tough navigating the roads.
Chopped up as they normally would be, and so it's hard because you hit a lot of potholes and whatever, and then of course the streets are all frozen.
It is horrible. They didn't put any salt down almost anywhere yet, but when I say I've only been out here for an hour, it did not look like this an hour ago. It's coming down like lightning.
Yeah, she's right. Of course, we all know the snow fell pretty quickly today. And again, now, Shayna, we are dealing with, it feels like hail out here, ice coming down, and also the wind is pretty rough.
All right. Thank you, Shawnette. So, Kathy, we've heard a lot of different words. We're talking sleet, snow, freezing rain, ice. What are we actually seeing on the radar right now?
You got it, Shayna. That's what it is. It's sleet and it's also freezing rain. The center of the storm, here is that nor'easter, is right over Delaware, and this is going to move off toward the northeast. As it does, that cold air will get pulled down. A few snow showers or flurries left to go overnight, and then it ends. We'll take a look at what comes next after this.
In Ardmore, the outdoor dining setups downtown were either packed up or just empty and covered in snow today. The weather definitely another blow to local businesses that are already struggling through the pandemic.
Yeah, not really an outdoor dining kind of night. And let's go to Bucks County now. Snow plows are very busy in Newtown. Look at all the snow covering the roads there tonight, and plenty of people also shoveling. So maybe cleanup tomorrow won't be so difficult. Get it out early tonight. And here in Havertown, Delaware County, we've seen it all. Snow to sleet and that wind. This is going to keep really going through the night, I suppose. But big concern now is the cold and the ice. Kathy has your forecast in 15 seconds.
All right, we're in the 7th inning stretch at this point, heading into the 8th inning. We're almost done here. On Ultimate Doppler, you can see we still have some light snow. We have some sleet. We have some freezing rain. Precipitation is light at this point. The center of our storm is right over Delaware, and it will be moving over South Jersey and out to sea. And as it does, we're going to pull down some of this cold air. Precipitation ending as a few snow showers or flurries, especially around Philadelphia and to the north and west. And then it's out of here tomorrow morning. Then it's just blustery. Take a look at Center City, Philadelphia. It sure is pretty out there tonight. Temperatures are cold, though, freezing in Philadelphia. This onshore flow as the storm is still to our south, keeping it mild in Millville and Wildwood in the 40s and close to 50 to the south. Allentown, still that cold is locked in at 21 degrees. The Poconos at 16. Wind chills, well, they vary from the 30s and the 40s to the south to the teens and single numbers below 0 in the Poconos. It feels like 2 below. It feels like 5 in Allentown, where our Chris O'Connell has been all day and all evening. So let's take this hour by hour. As the storm pulls away toward the north and east, we get this cold air coming in during the overnight. And look at 4 o'clock in the morning. Most of the rain is moving toward the northeast and almost ending. Even Philadelphia seeing some sleet, maybe a few snowflakes, and then it pulls away. By 7 a.m., it's out of most of the region. It's moving into North Jersey, and then we slowly dry it out. But remember, the temperatures will be falling as well. Will be turning colder, and even any treated surfaces are going to refreeze. It's going to be icy come tomorrow morning. Future wind gusts, take a look at this. Right now, we have winds gusting in the 30s. By tomorrow morning, potential for winds gusting to 44 in Philadelphia and close to 50-mile-an-hour gusts down toward the Jersey Shore. We're also talking about coastal flooding at times of high tide, so please be aware of that. And wind chills in the morning, brutal in the teens and single numbers again. Snowfall amounts, well, pretty impressive here. Look at Pennsylvania, Quakertown, 8 inches. Whitehall Township, 7.5. Folsom, 6.5. Upper Darby, close to 6. The same at Philly International, near 6 inches of snow. King of Prussia, 5.2. And these are not the final totals, so they could be updated. New Jersey, Riverton, 6. The same in Cherry Hill. Haddon Heights over 5, the same in Mount Laurel. Ewing 4.5 and Mantua at 4 inches. And Delaware, North Tallyville 5.7, 5.5 in Wilmington, Rock Manor 5 inches. Hocassin 4.5, Newark at 3 inches, in Middletown in central Delaware, 1 inch of snow. Overnight tonight, lows in the teens, the 20s, in the 30s. Come tomorrow, it will be blustery with highs only in the mid-30s. So it is going to be a cold day. And on your 7-day forecast from the Weather Authority, Friday, sunny and cold. Morning low Saturday, only in the teens. Better weather for Sunday, Monday, next Tuesday, and Wednesday as we get into the 40s. Woohoo! That will feel good.
Warm up.
Woohoo reminds me of all the fun that the kids are going to be having out there going forward. Kathy and Jason, you guys know there's nothing like a snowy day to bring children into our viewing audience. And we know that they're very concerned about, will we get a snow day? What's the snow going to be like? We've already seen some sledding. I believe we have some video from earlier today, some Delco, some from New Jersey. I don't know what hill they're headed to. They're just doing some cross-country sledding, I guess. This is in Havertown. Jason, is this your neighborhood?
Yeah, those are my neighbor's kids, and I swear, just as soon as we saw the first inch of snow, they were already ready to go with their sleds and just needed a parent to take them to the hill.
Yeah, and that was a good time, right, Kathy? When it was still falling, it was that fresh, soft snow that's really easy.
Yes, that's what we're talking about. Like, kids, get out now, because once the sleet comes in, then obviously you have that crunchy layer of ice on top, which makes it difficult. You'll go fast down that hill, but boy, you fall out of that sled and it's going to hurt. Also, throwing snowballs, those snowballs are like ice.
Yeah. The snowball fight could get really dangerous once this all freezes over. So,
well, that's why you got to bundle up the kids like Ralphie from A Christmas Story, so they have all that padding. If they fall, there's no injuries. And by the way, there's plenty of grown-ups who are going to be taking part, by the way, tomorrow too.
Well, we look forward to seeing the video of that on your Instagram, Jason. That looks like such a good time. Oh, I don't know the last time I went sledding. I might need to get out there too.
I know. Just don't hurt yourselves.
Yes. Be careful,
That's
everybody.
True. That's, yep. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Oh, what a day it's been. Do you remember, Jason, a year ago, you were looking to buy a new winter coat, and you were asking some of us, and we were trying to give you tips. You're going to need this to protect yourself from the snow and the cold, and then we got basically no snow whatsoever. So
well, I know, and I know, and I have this really nice winter coat that I bought during that time, but there's one thing I forgot to get. These babies. Gloves. And Marty, our photographer, bailed me out today. Luckily, he had an extra pair, but Daddy's got to get on Amazon, and I got to get me some gloves because I can't be walking around here without gloves. So anyway, Marty saves the day.
And the real pro move is you got to get the hand warmers to go and slip in there. Really keep them toasty.
You know what?
While you're out there.
I wonder if Amazon's got them. I'm going to have to wait and see.
I'm sure they do. All right, well, we have plenty more snow coverage to come. Again, it's not over. It kind of looks like it is there in Delco where Jason is.
Still
and
coming
it's
down.
slowed down in a number of places, but we have more coming overnight. Not as much as we saw earlier, but not quite done. So we're going to give you another recap of what to expect over these next several hours. Coming up next. We haven't seen the radar quite like this in quite a long time. A nor'easter dumping snow, sleet, and freezing rain across our area. This is a live look at Allentown. Lehigh County has seen some of the highest totals across our area.
Yeah, this storm did not disappoint, and let's take a live look at conditions and how they are in Bucks County. Pennsylvania officials urging drivers to stay off the roads if at all possible. And just over the Delaware and New Jersey, Governor Phil Murphy issued a state of emergency because of the storm. You can see the snow coming down in Haddonfield.
We've got our crews spread out everywhere tonight, showing us just how the storm is impacting where you live. And one thing is for sure, we are not quite out of the woods just yet.
Nope.
I'm Shayna Humphreys.
I'm Jason Martinez right here in Havertown, Delaware County, tracking this freezing rain and sleet above us right now and some wind as well. And we've seen it all here. Besides the rain and sleet, some big fat flakes earlier. It was beautiful as it was coating the roads here. Several inches of snow we got here. It's now left a gorgeous blanket of snow in this winter wonderland we call Delco, as well as across the Delaware Valley. So let's head back inside to Kathy now and talk snowfall totals right on the money.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah, this was quite a storm indeed. Watching that rain snow line, always a problem along the I-95 corridor. We got our 3 to 6 inches right along that I-95 corridor, with Philadelphia coming in just under 6 at 5.7 inches. Let's take a look at Ultimate Doppler. You see these streamline particles, that little bit of a swirl? That's our storm system crossing the eastern shore into Delaware and then moving offshore. It's going to draw down some more cold air. Right now in Philadelphia, we have freezing rain, obviously dangerous precipitation because it freezes on contact. That's your black ice, and that will be a problem overnight as well. Here's some of our snow totals, some of our highest numbers. Coopersburg, 9 inches. Easton, 9 inches. This is a new one, just updated. Norristown, 8.5. Quakertown, 8 inches. Chadsford Township at 6 inches. And Royersford near 6 inches of snow. Winds gusting to 30 miles an hour in Philadelphia, 35-mile-an-hour winds in Wilmington, gusting close to 40 miles an hour in the Poconos, and that is driving wind chills down in the single numbers and below zero at times. It feels like 3 in Allentown, 11 in Pottstown, 9 in Reading, and 0 in the Poconos. So big problems come tomorrow morning. Now, this is what's going to happen overnight tonight. The next hour or so, you'll still see the sleet, the freezing rain, and rain through South Jersey. The storm will begin to pull away over the next couple of hours. And after midnight, as the storm pulls away, we get that colder air coming down, even toward Philadelphia, some sleet and maybe a few snowflakes. And then between 4 and 7 a.m., it exits, and it's just downright cold tomorrow morning with wind chills that are only going to be in the teens and single numbers. And tomorrow we start off with a few flakes or flurries early, and then we see the sun popping out, but highs only in the 30s. It is going to be one blustery, icy day. We'll send it back to you.
Oh, and Chris O'Connell knows all about that kind of condition out there. You're in Allentown. What's it like now, Chris?
Well, I can tell you we had near blizzard-like conditions earlier on with nearly 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts and heavy snow and bitterly cold temperatures made for a nasty night here in Allentown. The little bit of sleet, little bit of snow continues to fall. I think we're in one of those dry pockets right now, but we do anticipate more snow, as Kathy was talking about. But take a look here in Allentown, if you would. I'm walking out onto Airport Road. I'm literally in the middle of Airport Road here in Allentown, right near Route 22. We're just a quarter mile away from Lehigh Valley Airport. There is no one out on the roads. That is a very good thing. We've seen it throughout the night. A lot of plows out here keeping things, but a lot of people keeping off the roads, especially up here where we got about 8 inches or so. Take a look at some video from earlier. People were just sliding all over the place. If you didn't have a four-wheel drive vehicle, you weren't going much. You weren't going far because people were just sliding all over. The tow trucks were out here in full force. People finally got the idea just to stay off the roads. We talked to a couple of those motorists out on the highways today saying they were out of practice. How bad is it out there?
It's very bad. It's very bad.
What's it like driving?
Fun. We're drifting all the way.
You like this?
We love it. We love it.
It's coming down pretty good. We're trying to get equipment to the site right now.
Oh, what do you do? Are you working for the city?
No, we're working for private contractors.
Oh, okay. Is it going to be a long night for you?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's going to be nice, white Christmas and all, the whole COVID thing, maybe it'll change our luck a little,
Back out here live, you see people here at the Waffle House, pretty much the only thing open, shoveling the snow. We were actually, I went in there, I dropped about $20. I said, keep the coffee coming all night and all into tomorrow morning. It's going to be that kind of night here in Lehigh County. So once again, more snow on the way tonight. We'll be live here tomorrow on Good Day starting at 5 a.m. We'll be on the air at 3:30. So going to be a long night, but looks like we got through this thing, guys.
Yeah, I'll say so. Thank you very much, Chris. Hope you stay warm, get some coffee, some hot chocolate, and just warm up out there. Let's take a look at some time-lapse video now. This is from Westchester, and you can just see how quickly everything changes. Those headlights moving, the traffic patterns changing, and just the cars navigating those snow-covered streets as the flakes just pelted the camera. Let's head to Delco now in Wayne. Dawn, what are you seeing out there?
Well, Shayna, it's kind of, everything's kind of stopped. There's a few, it's like a light kind of freezing rain, but not too bad. Earlier, the flakes were really flying. The snow was really coming down. You can see nobody's sitting out here for the outdoor dining, but this is a look at how much snow we did get before it started to rain and sleet about 5:30 tonight. But it really is a pretty scene. If you can take a look at the gorgeous Wayne Christmas tree and some of the Christmas lights out here. It's very pretty, and a lot of the people I talked to earlier today were so excited to finally, after almost 2 years, see some snow.
I love it. I've been waiting for it for years.
I'm very excited for the snow. It's been too long, and I needed a change of pace from like the gray and the boring fall scenery. Now we have some good winter scenery.
Got a big bag of rock salt last season and didn't use it. So I've got rock salt. I've got shovel. I've got a 23-year-old son who's got a strong muscles, so we should be okay. We're ready. As long as the power stays, we're fine.
Right, as long as the power stays, everybody's fine. And it is kind of windy, so we'll see how that goes. And I need that guy's son to come over and shovel my driveway as well, Jason and Shana, because I'm worried to find out what I'm going to get home to shortly.
Yeah, really. Well, hopefully a nice wind gust hit your driveway perfectly and just cleared it right up for you, Dawn. All right, thanks, Dawn. In Salem County, Pennsville got plenty of snow as well. When our crew got there, it started to sleet at that point, and the roads just got really messy, covered with some ice and a bunch of that just muddy slush. Here's a live look from our attheshore.com camera overlooking the Philadelphia skyline. A beautiful shot. You can see that blanket of snow even from this angle. You know, if you live in Philly, trash pickup will not be happening tomorrow. The city diverted all sanitation crews to help out with snow duty. So if tomorrow's typically your pickup day, it'll be Friday this week, and Friday pickups will now be on Saturday.
And all archdiocesan schools in Philadelphia will go virtual tomorrow because of the weather. And as for archdiocesan schools in the suburbs, they may follow the direction local school districts make. So check with them regarding classes tomorrow. Shawnette, what a night in Philadelphia. How is it out there?
Well, I can tell you crews are actually hard at work right now. Jason, about 15 minutes ago, we did see 2 plow trucks come down Market Street. So you can see the difference from the last time we showed you the road. You can actually see just a little bit of it on the side closest to where we are. But despite all of this wintry mix that we had today, people were still out through all the phases, some working, others just enjoying the weather. Outside dining in Philly, not to be outdone by snow, sleet, or rain. In Rittenhouse this evening, people filled heated tents in the middle of a whiteout while helping businesses hopefully still have a good night. And then there are people like Ayesha Neal working for DoorDash, picking up orders for people who want to stay at home during the storm.
I know this would be the most beneficial day that I could make money. I could probably make $500-600 just tonight by itself.
We talked to Neil picking up orders from the Cheesecake Factory in Center City.
It's hard out here finding jobs, and you know, this COVID has had everyone in shambles. I'm just here trying to do something productive and make some money to get through the holidays.
She says driving her car in the storm is a challenge, though.
It did not look like this an hour ago. It's coming down like lightning.
Ted, also a food deliverer, was out on his bike.
I have some fantastic tires, and I have a waterproof case for my phone, and this jacket's supposed to be waterproof.
Overall, Center City stayed busy throughout the evening. Plenty of people out simply enjoying the snow.
This is very uplifting, and I love it.
All right, so that young lady's birthday is actually on Christmas Day, Jason, and she said she is hoping to see some snow then. We are going to have to check in with Kathy Orr to find out if that could happen.
Yeah. Would love a white Christmas. Shawnette Wilson, all right, thank you very much. And keep it right here on Fox 29. We are your weather authority. And, of course, wake up with Good Day starting a half hour earlier tomorrow morning at 3:30. And speaking of weather, Kathy, how's it looking out there now?
Well, our storm is slowly moving toward the north and the east. It's going to bring in some colder air, icy conditions overnight. That's a big concern, and that whipping wind with brutal wind chills. More on that when we come back.
A lot of snow fell in Montgomery County. Here's a look at Jenkintown this evening. Snow or no snow, someone's got to walk the dog, and we've seen that in our neighborhood here as well. And yeah, look, she's even wearing she looks like actually a snowball.
You got to get the snow suit, the doggy boots, whatever you can. In Delaware County, snow supplies were just flying off the shelves at this hardware store in Swarthmore. And it's been a long time since we've seen a real storm in the area. So county officials talked about that today and said they were worried about the rush hour drive.
People will get on the road, they'll forget what it's like to drive in snow, and we'll have a significant amount of traffic accidents.
It does seem like every year, even if we do have storms, people just forget. You got to go through it, I guess. A little bit every season. State police also want to remind people to just take it slow if you have to drive somewhere.
Exactly. And it's not just our area getting hit. It's all up and down the East Coast. Here's Fox's Lauren Blanchard.
The first major winter storm in the Northeast moving up the coast Wednesday into Thursday, dumping at first fluffy snow on the nation's capital, which then turned to sleet and rain in freezing temperatures. The storm estimated to drop up to 2 feet of snow in some areas inland. Central Pennsylvania expected to get the worst of it. Emergency crews raced to prepare roads,
which has the potential to actually drop more snow across the Commonwealth than all of the snow systems did or the winter storm systems did in 2019.
In New Jersey, Governor Phil Murphy declaring a state of emergency. While in New York, the city prepared for its first major snowstorm of the season, possibly the biggest in the last 3 years. The city suspended outdoor dining.
Please stay off the roads tonight. Heed public messaging. Our plows need a lot of space to do their job. The plowing of the New York City roadways in this event will be slow and methodical.
However, after almost a year of people largely staying home, some are happy to see snow just before Christmas.
We're stuck at home doing Zoom meetings and we don't have a lot of options. So playing in the snow is super exciting.
It is super just energizing and like joy giving right now.
As the snow turns to sleet and rain in some areas, drivers are being warned, be careful on the now icy roads. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
We are not done with this nor'easter yet. This is a live look at Westchester, where everyone's going to be digging out tomorrow. So, Kathy, what's the latest? How are things looking?
We're looking good. We're looking at light snow in some areas, light freezing rain in Philadelphia. So that's icy conditions. So please be aware of that. Our storm system right now over the Delmarva, eastern shore of Maryland, heading through Delaware and then off the New Jersey coast. As that happens, cold air will be pulled into this and the storm will be departing. That means colder temperatures and the precipitation will come to an end come tomorrow morning. But we have several more hours of some precipitation, even though it will be light. Center City, Philadelphia. Visibility improved with that freezing rain. Cold in Pottstown and Allentown, only in the 20s. Still have this onshore flow through South Jersey and Delaware because the storm is still to our south. That will be changing. Wind chills right now in the teens of the single numbers. In Allentown, it feels like it's 4. It feels like it's 1 below in the Poconos because of this biting wind that's out there. Winds gusting to 35, even 40 miles an hour. So this is the setup. We'll watch the precipitation slowly come to an end. Cold air being drawn back down to the south. So any wintry mix will be changing over to snow, especially north and west of the city. Philadelphia ending as a little sleet, perhaps a few snowflakes. South Jersey mainly ending as rain, a little freezing rain. And then all of this moving toward the northeast. Between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m., it's pretty much out of here. And look at these temperatures. Even in South Jersey, we go from the 40s to the 30s. So any of that liquid, any of that rain will be freezing on untreated surfaces. So please watch out for that tomorrow morning. 20s in Pottstown, even Philadelphia, falling to 28 degrees. During the day tomorrow, temperatures will be bumping back up, but only into the mid-30s. So here's a look at the wind gusts. Right now, gusting in the 30s, 40s, even close to some 50-mile-an-hour gusts down the shore. Tomorrow, still seeing those very high wind gusts as our storm is just to the south of Long Island and moving away. Future wind chills, take a look at this. Come tomorrow morning, it will definitely be feeling like it's in the teens and single numbers. Snow amounts. Here are some updated totals. Quakertown at 8 inches, Whitehall Township 7.5, 6.5, and Folsom, Upper Darby near 6, Philadelphia International close to 6, and King of Prussia 5.2. In New Jersey, ranging from 6 in Riverton and Cherry Hill to 4 inches in Mantua, Haddon Heights at 5.2. In Delaware, picked up a good amount of snow. North Tallyville at 5.7, Wilmington at 5.5, Hocassin 4.5, and Middletown only 1 inch. On your forecast overnight, lows in the teens, the 20s, and the 30s, depending on where you are. During the day tomorrow with winds, it's going to feel like it's in the 20s in the afternoon. High temperatures will be in the 30s. And on your 7-day forecast from the Weather Authority, here's the good news. It stays cold if you want the snow to stick around. There will be a slow melt, but temperatures will improve. It stays dry and sunny through the period right through next week. By then, Shayna, we are back into the 40s where we should be this time of year. Be safe out there.
Back to the 40s. All right. Thanks, Kathy. What a busy snow day it's been. We hope you've been home, toasty, warm, and safe. And again, if you don't have to go anywhere, don't.
And it's not over. Still coming down here. Sleet Fest out here in Delaware County.
Yeah, so first thing in the morning, make sure to check in with Good Day. They're on early starting